Good evening, everyone. Today, in this episode, I want to talk about which is the best intermittent fasting model. Now, for those who do not understand intermittent fasting is a state in which you separate certain hours of the day at which you'll spend in the fasted state, while other hours of the day at which you'll spend in the feasted state. And we always do intermittent fasting every day. The only difference is that the number of hours always vary, because whenever we are asleep, we are in the fasted state. So intermittent fasting is a state in which you are cycling between the fasted state and the feasted state. Now, there are various models that we can use to describe this. We have one which you call a 3MAD. A 3MAD is where you have 3 meals a day with no snacking in between. A 2MAD is where you have 2 meals a day with no snacking in between. While a 1MAD is where you have, or what we call an OMAD, is where you have 1 meal a day with no snacking in between. So among these 3 models, which is the best? From my experience doing intermittent fasting, I would recommend you to do a 2 meal a day model. One, because it is easier to start with. Number 2, it is also very easy to adopt if you have a very functional social life, because you'll always have a wedding to attend, you'll always have friends to visit. So it's an easier model, especially if you have a functional life, a social functional life, and especially also have a family. Number 3, it also has more benefits than the 3MAD, because with the 3MAD you are doing 3 meals a day, but with the 2MAD you're only doing 2 meals a day. So it has more benefits whenever it comes to fasting. And number 4, it is also very easy to alternate the hours. The hours are always during the day most of the time, as compared to the 1MAD, where the hours might often be during the evening, which might not be friendly, especially if you have to attend to something during the day. So it is not something that will inconvenience you, especially if you have to do either, let's say that day you have to do a cheat meal, so it will not have to inconvenience you as compared to the 1MAD, because with the 1MAD it is very hard to do a cheat meal, because you're only going to have 1 meal a day, of which you could say that's a benefit of the 1MAD, because it enhances discipline. So those are the various benefits of why a 2MAD is better. One, it is very easy to start with. It functions well with your social life and your family life. Number 3, it is easier to alternate it during the day, because it has to occur during the day. And number 4, it has more benefits actually than the 3MAD, but it doesn't have more than the 1 OMAD, of which that's the more another that's a disadvantage to it. But those are the 4 major benefits. Now, how do you do a 2MAD? A 2MAD could be done through an 18-6 fasting model or a 24 fasting model. With an 18-6 fasting model, it means that you are going to have a fasted state of 18 hours and a feasting state of 6 hours. So you are basically going to, let's say your lunch was at 1 p.m., your next meal will be at 7 p.m. So you are going to consume all your meals, your first meal at lunch 1 p.m. and your last meal, which will be dinner, at 7 p.m. The remaining hours of the day you will be in the fasted state. Now, the other model is what we call the 24 model. With the 24 model, you are going to have only 4 hours in which you'll be in the feasted state. So let's say you'll take your lunch at 1 p.m. and your last meal of the day at 5 p.m. and the remaining hours of the day, which are 20 hours, you're going to be in the fasted state. Now, that is how I could describe now the 2MAD model. And the biggest benefit of the 2MAD model is that you're going to get into autophagy. Now, autophagy is the internal eating of the body cells, and autophagy is very beneficial for longevity and for also boosting immunity. With the 3MAD, you'll hardly get into autophagy. That's why the 2MAD is better. However, if you are able to advance and get used to fasting, you could cross over to the OMAD, which is the king of the fasting model, in terms of that is the prime stage. But the best for anyone who is starting, and for anyone who wants to do this thing as a lifestyle, at the first start is the 2MAD. With the OMAD is when you have really advanced and you have gained discipline with fasting. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.